This is what's known in the business as a drafted nightmare. One and all, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Age of Empires for action. Ishi, ay caramba. I see Mongols, but then I see Ayyubids, and I weep for the Mongols that were. This is a tough matchup. Puppy Paw, it's almost like he knew. I mean, so here's the thing. Anatan, he drafted Mongols, he drafted Chinese. He still has to go to Frisian, right? He chose Cliffside. Thinking about his draft, like Mongols isn't guaranteed, but it can make a lot of sense here. This is going to be a tricky one. In theory, if he gets a good spawn, there is some things you can do here against Ayu, but I'm not sure if this is going to be the spawn for him. There's a second gold nearby, and also Ayyubids are pretty content with the idea of playing Feudal Age, guys. The reason is Desert Raiders slap the crap out of Keshiks. So get your points in. I'm already seeing a lofty amount of points going against Anatan, but last time I saw a voting that skewed, someone ended up out of Chimmy Change. So Sphinx saying, the videos are great, but I lose on the video page to find games use not enough info. What you mean for the series? It's tricky because like so that's like a deep challenge when it comes to YouTube of like content creator brain versus being an esports channel. Like the way EGC does it, you'll always be able to track their games, but like you could argue it doesn't work as well as what a Drongo does, right? Like what someone who's just doing YouTube does, because and this is like across the industry. You look at any esports, right? Like, you know, PGLs, ESLs, like the tournament channels, compared to like New From UA and Dota 2, it's very different. Anyway, let's focus on the game, because we have got the outpost rush coming. Anatan is going to be moving in, so he's going to be a blocker on the gold. Puppy Paw has already triggered the tech up, and it's coming. Oh, the English ain't the only one with NHS. The camels allow it on the go. The king of the desert is coming out to heal in this one. Yeah, this is really cool. So this is a Puppy Paw Wham special. I've been nerding out about it for a long time. I've been wanting it to happen for a long time. And this was the secret strategy, apparently, for King of the Rockies. They're starting to just whip it out all over the place. So Ayyubid Feudal Age healing. Pretty cool against Mongols, who now would have to lean archers. They can't do spears. They can't do Keshiks. So anticipating that, Puppy Paw could just use this now to try and feel safe, hunker down, build some outposts, tech up. Or he could even think about trying to outblob his opponent. Because the cool thing about doing this, at the early inception point, you've now got healing when the armies are small. When the armies are big, the dervishes get sniped by mass archers. But when they're small, your opponent's archers can't kill them. So what you do is you just use that to trade out efficiently. It's the same logic of, like, if you've heard Marino talk about his 1% advantage thing, right? Where, let's play French and kill one villager. Oh, I'm ahead now, so I just need to play well. Same thing. So 5 spears from Anatan. Not too far behind his own tech timing in terms of starting it, but he's going to be about a whole minute behind Puppy Paw here. The wood's already been gathered. This is archers. Because the cool thing is you build archer, then you build ram. Deal with outpost, move back to gold if you want to, or go all in. Wonder if there's a world in which he just kind of ignores the... No, you wouldn't ignore the outpost, because the thing is you want gold. If you're going to play long feudal, you need gold for blacksmiths, or you want the gold for fast castle. Archer range on the way. Deerstone coming in. This is the correct call from Anatan. You don't want to be trading here. Like, if you trade, your opponent is going to rush Castle Age, and if he rushes Castle Age, it's Camelots everywhere. Right? So, Deerstone is going to give him that all-in timing. He has, at least for the time being, got the Yamor on the front line, but the tricky part now is that Yamor is going to disappear fast. And that... Is that even legal for an Ayyubid player to do? We have Spearmen coming from the Ayyubids in Age 2. Yeah, a rare sight, but has at least been growing a little bit in popularity. So he's just going to try to mosh pit it, because this is cool. If you go on the archers, you don't have a quick way of like denying the buildings around the Uvu. But with spears, you do, while also having the counter Keshiks, right? Because like Keshiks will lose to archer blob with dervish heal at size, but Keshiks will kill archers in small quantities. So your alternative is you go for another archer range or stables, and you either build into horsemen that don't directly counter anything yet, or you build into desert raiders to take a long time. Desert raiders will counter Keshiks, but they take twice the time to produce. So march in on the way. Archer range is coming from Anatan. The units are already in position. The dervishes are here to play. Is he going to stop? I don't think so. I think you just keep sending troops, right? Onward coming in. I mean, realistically, your goal now is to blob. Your opponent can't fight you. And also, if you wrap round now, you can deny their gold, which means you have a delayed play into blacksmith decks. Undermesh in particular would be sick here because Anatan's now getting archers. If you go Undermesh and rush, the dervishes can never be sniped. This is really crafty. Spearman. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's a TC there. We do at least have the other Spearman blocking the back gold, so that's going to be a delay and Anatan trying to play attack. When you're behind an archer count, that's your play out, is typically you just get the quality of your units. Puppy Paw behind this. But the cool thing is you could theoretically build a ram, but you just want to blob archers, right? If you build a ram, that's 3 less archers. 4, actually. If you're just going raw wood. In terms of, like, expenditure, is closer to 3, more like 2.5. And every single archer counts and no. What? Alright, this is cool. So now one side has healing, the other has mobility and range. It's a really smart read, actually, because Khan Hunters, they're pretty squishy, sure, but they can stay away. They don't need to attack. You're not building a Khan Hunter to attack your opponent, even though you could. The damage is pathetic. You're building it so the archers can outrange your opponents. This also makes it easier for you at the beginning of the fight to lean in and just snipe the dervishes. The counterplay to the counterplay to the counterplay is so cool to see, man. Like, we've had some series earlier, especially in the bracket, you're expecting it, where someone just falls volley to a play. There's no counter, there's no fall ahead, there's no step out of it. These two are bouncing, weaving, and dodging traps. They're full Matrix Neoing their way through this experience. But Puppy Paw, he's now moving into the Horseman. Gold gathering is going to be there. So Outpost coming up against potential raids. He didn't even bother to build a ram here. It's really smart. We talked about this, the theory of like going and dealing with this outpost, but I actually like that he didn't. If he had, Anno would have bulked archers even quicker. Do now have a desert raider getting added in. So the reason Puppy Paw is doing this is he's anticipating Keshiks. Now that he's gone Horseman, the logical play for Anatan is to go into Keshiks. Because then you have a solid, really strong front line that will beat horses. The problem right now is Puppy Paw's misread it. Anatan has not gone Keshiks at all. It is full infantry. Now, because he went Deerstone, because that outpost never got taken out, this is a problem. Movement speed on the defense, one thing. Movement speed next to your opponent's base, horrific for Puppy Paw to have to deal with. Because now, with the extra 0.5 range, you can move in, shoot, move out. And Puppy Paw is going to struggle to react because you have the quick movement in, and then you have the disengage every time. So does he let him have the gold? I mean, Anno's going to be a little bit paranoid that there might be some sort of Castless play on Puppy Paw's mind, but if he keeps blobbing troops, that does just reach a kind of convergence point, right? Where you can attack. Now he's just going to rally the new troops in. Blacksmiths is key. Steel Arrow is on the way. This is why he's waiting. On the other side, Puppy Paw doesn't have a blacksmiths yet. This delay could cost him dearly. He has extended on the west side, and that's going to be where Anatan's leaning here. Undermesh also now queued up. Only 6 Spearman's not that impressive, but the Steel Arrow is. And the Desert Raider's already gone. Anatan was almost shocked he got that. He could have actually killed a Horseman as well. But he wants to move aggressively here towards the economy. The extra range really kicks in. Keeps on shoving. Khan Hunter does go down, so he gets rid of that key tool. And this is a defensive fight. Puppy Paw having numbers favorable in theory, but also having the outpost to assist, but he's going to dive past. Anatan goes deeper. Spearmen peel off to deal with the villagers, and then he sends the main army to deal with the defense force here. Dervish is being targeted down. That's one dead already. No AoE healing anymore. Anatan strips it away from him. The spears chase away the villagers. More idle time here. The archer count about even, 12 to 14. The spears are back in the fray, but the other big detail is the undermesh just came in. Puppy Paw at an overwhelming disadvantage to defend here. This is sick. Anatan found the perfect timing, the perfect angle, and weaved his way through at the perfect time. Puppy Paw is at least going to get the Horseman out now to start stabilizing, but he's not going to have much of an army left. Behind this, Anatan is now 3 villagers ahead. 2, because there was the gap moving the TC. And now, Now he looks to go to Keshik's. Because at this point, he's convinced Puppy Paw is just leading too hard into Horseman Archers. This is the difference between the two. Puppy Paw went Desert Raiders trying to anticipate the next move. He did not confirm before he moved. Remember, authenticate before you initiate. Anatan, meanwhile, just played the comp they were already going for. And leaned on the idea that even if he was to run into the counter, small group of spears, and Blacksmith decks is a big enough edge. He was right. Puppy Paw now just looking for a backup plan in the next stage. Oh no, I lost 3 villagers. Builds town center. Newly buffed Eco Wing, you now get stone from this. That's actually wild. Because, like, here's the genius of what Puppy Paw has done here. Anatan can walk by, he can see this, and he's going to be like, Growth Wing. Because you think Growth Wing is the most logical play for an Ayyubid player from this position. Catches them up on economy, gets them ahead. Instead he's playing the long con, but that does mean that Anatan gets an opportunity to aggro more. It's going to need to be fast. Building Keshik's a little bit risky. Your opponent, he has got the stables already, so it could be Camel Lancers coming out. So Anatan needs to go back for those spears. How does Puppy Paw make this work? You could TC drop the back gold. That does protect the berries as well, but in theory, if your opponent's going to Zerg, you could just take the TC down. This is the wild part about Industry to me. It's cool to see. I'm excited about it, but it feels odd. Because you need to go for the TC, so you have to build it, right? But before you get an eco advantage. Or you could just have 7 villages straight away gathering for you to make your economy better. Keshiks are starting to roam around the back, so Puppy Paw just got the bad news. There's also heavy cavalry being pumped. Outpost isn't even going to be garrisoned. He doesn't risk it because remember the Khan Hunter gives the range, so Archer's going to shove this back. Tree line about to be in trouble. Keshiks are finding additional kills. No textiles either. So Anatan, is he microing for it? No, not quite. There's a 1 injured villager here still alive. Raxes are coming though. And wait, what's happening? Oh my god, Puppy Paw! The 4 horsemen from the heroic tales! I looked at the eco, it made no sense! Anatan is behind! Oh my god. He lost it all! Anatan is so busy microing, he didn't even notice! That's a 7, 8, God knows how many eco lead at this stage for Puppy Paw. And now he has all these resources to boot. It's actually for the Tower of the Sultan. Oh, Memology 101. When you meme hard. Anatan in theory can counter this with Keshik's, but Keshik's requires an economy. What economy? Oh my god. I don't know if like Anatan is just maybe a little bit burnt out from the long series today because he played the 4v4 tournament. A crazy series, in fact. But that's not the Anno I'm used to seeing there. 4 horsemen took out, what was that, 10 villages. Anatan needs to take him out now. Keshik's diving in. Wait, he hasn't built it yet. Oh my god, he was being greedy. Archers need to finish this off. Can he see them around the backside? They're actually hidden behind it. He's coming in now. He needs to tilt his camera right now. The Tower of the Sultan cannot be allowed to go up here. The Camel Lancer's trying to bait him to waste time. He gets it online. The archers get around the back too late. The Tower of Sultan has been built. What just happened? I know most of his army is squishy. He can't deal with this. That's it. The difference size makes. Don't let anyone tell you size doesn't matter. How else do you hide those 4 archers round the back? Incredible! Rotate camera makes all the difference in this second game. Anatan already at risk of elimination in the craziest of ways.